I am kicking things off today with a bright and tangy dish that you can make any time of year. We are making my spiced yogurt chicken with feta and herbs. Yeah. Now, you can make this literally any time of year if you want to, but this is also a really good one because it kind of reminds you that there is sun somewhere hanging out. It's bright, it's creamy, it is totally delicious. Now, I'm gonna marinate my chicken. Now, when I'm marinating my chicken, sometimes you'll do it in wine or things like this, but one of my favorite things to marinate chicken in is actually yogurt. Now, if you've never marinated in yogurt before, it's really, really great because it actually is like a softer marination, so you can do it for longer. Now, today I am using Astro Original Balkan yogurt. It gives a really creamy flavor and tanginess into this chicken. It's proudly made in Canada and has been since 1972 with just 3 simple ingredients. We've got Canadian milk, Canadian cream, and cultures. That's it. How good is that? Fantastic. I love it. It's so good, in fact, that they have not changed the recipe. They're like, you know what? One and done, we got it. It's so good. It's really, really great for this marinade because not only does yogurt have fat and protein in it, it's got a little more sticking power than something like oil or just wine or things like that. So it's really gonna get on that chicken and get all those flavors coated in around. So the first thing we need for this beautiful marinade is a cup of yogurt. As I said, I'm using the Astro Balkan yogurt. Balkan yogurt is really good. It's got a good creaminess to it. It's not overly thick, so it's still got a good kind of consistency going. But my number 1 tip, the first thing you do when you open a new container of yogurt, you peel off that top, don't stir it. Do not stir your yogurt. When you're stirring, yes, right? I know, I'm shocking people. If you have fruit on the bottom, I'll allow it, but if you do not, don't stir it. What you do when you're stirring the yogurt is you're actually disturbing kind of the curd of that yogurt, and it makes it a little thinner. If you want it to stay rich and creamy and extra wonderful, grab your spoon, we need about a cup of this yogurt, and you just wanna cut into the side. Almost take it out like it's like, kind of like ice cream or something like that. You want about a cup of that, but do not give it a stir. What's gonna happen is when you shut this yogurt and you put it in the fridge, the next time you open it, right in this little divot right here in that pot is gonna be some whey. Now, with that whey, you're gonna wanna stir it. I know some of you will. But just pour it off in the sink. That's gonna keep your yogurt nice and thick and rich and creamy. Absolutely beautiful. If you do stir it, not the end of the world, but this gets you the perfect consistency on your yogurt every single time. All right, now into that cup of yogurt, we're gonna start building in flavor. If you want to, you could use that beautiful yogurt and mix in herbs, blitz it up in a blender, but we're going in with some kind of like stuff that I just have hanging around because it's a delicious thing. The first thing I need is some ginger, and where do I keep my ginger? Freezer. We have got some A+ students in the crowd right now. I'm feeling good about it. All right, so I always just keep my ginger in the freezer. You can pop it into a plastic bag, but what happens with this is you don't really have to peel it. Just give it a scrub before you pop it in the freezer, and then you can grate it right on into whatever you're putting it into. No need to peel. It breaks down those fibers, so it's really nice and tender, and it just grates perfectly. If you don't freeze it first, you end up with like almost these like fibers and furs or hairs, which don't break down as easily. So by doing this, cuts that in half, makes it so much easier to get it in, and you're never going to look in your crisper and think, what is that? You know when the ginger, it shrivels up? That's not gonna happen anymore. It's gonna last forever. So you want about 2 tablespoons of freshly grated ginger into that beautiful yogurt. Now into there for a little more punch, we're going in with 3 cloves of garlic. Now, since this is, right? Okay, we got a good crowd today. I'm feeling good about this. Those 3 cloves of garlic, I like to rasp them right in because that's gonna give me the max, like most punchy garlic flavor. And since there is a nice little bit amount of fat in this yogurt, that's gonna carry through all of that flavor. Fat is kind of like the public transit of flavor. It's connecting it all, it's bringing it all together. It's handy, it's a good thing. Some people avoid it, but you shouldn't, it's a good thing. All right, add in those 3 cloves of garlic, right on in. And then we're gonna go in with just some stuff in our spice cupboard. If you wanted to, again, you could use fresh herbs here, but I like using my spice cupboard because it's what I got hanging around right now. So the first thing I need is about 1.5 teaspoons of smoked paprika. That's gonna give us a nice smoky flavor. I kind of refer to it as the bacon of my spice cupboard because it's got that smokiness to it. It's not spicy, just smoky. Then I'm going in with a teaspoon of some cumin. Cumin gives a really nice lemon, again, smoky flavor. Really, really beautiful. This is a spice blend that I do on vegetables, I do it on chicken, I do it on fish. If you wanted to switch it up and do whatever spice blend you like, feel free. It'll work perfectly in this marinade. I'm going in with a teaspoon of coriander as well. Coriander is the seed of cilantro, but it doesn't taste like cilantro. So if you don't like cilantro, you might like coriander. If not, feel free to leave it out. Then I'm going in with half a teaspoon of turmeric for that beautiful bright yellow color. And then half a teaspoon of cayenne. I like things a little bit spicy, but again, yogurt is another sneaky ingredient if you want to pull back on spice. When I'm doing any sort of like eating of spicy food, a little bit of yogurt on the side, ooh, cools you right down. You're good to go. All right, season that up with some salt, a little bit of pepper as well. And that's literally it for the marinade. Super, super easy. If you want, I am gonna add a little glug of some olive oil in. And you know what? I'm lying. I'm gonna put lemon in it too, because I feel like it. Because we're in my kitchen and we're having a good time. All right, that's beautiful and in there. That little bit of extra oil is gonna get things going. And then I'm gonna go in with the juice of half of a lemon. Now, since I'm doing a yogurt marinade and there is that little bit of acidity in it, yogurt has lactic acid in it. And lactic acid is a really good marination vehicle because basically what it does is it's a soft acid. It's not like just a bunch of lemon juice, just a bunch of wine, something like that. So it really gently tenderizes your meat, gets it really beautiful and flavorful. So for the meat, I have got 8 chicken thighs, boneless, skinless. If you want bone and skin on, you do you, whatever you got hanging around your freezer. But I'm gonna go in with these. The thing I like about boneless, skinless is they almost unroll, so you get more of that marinade into all of that chicken, which is absolutely beautiful. Into there, I'm going in with about a cup of cherry tomatoes. No matter the time of year, cherry tomatoes always taste delicious, so those are going straight on in as well. And this is a 1 bowl, 1 pan dinner, which is always a good thing. Now in there as well, I'm going in with an onion. I've got 1 red onion here, and I'm just gonna dice that up. You could also cut this into nice wedges if you're feeling it, but a good dice, good chunky dice is perfect. This is gonna bring more flavor into this marinade, but it's also gonna act as a vegetable for this chicken. Those tomatoes and stuff are gonna cook down. Give that a little bit of a dice. I have the world's stickiest knife right now, apparently. All my onions are sticking to the side. Pop that right on in. Grab the next onion, pop it down, give it a bit of a dice. That one went a little bit better. I'm feeling better about my onion chopping skills right now. All right, and then you just want to give this a good toss just to combine and evenly coat. Since this is a thicker marinade because we're using that yogurt in there, it's going to stick to everything. It's gonna coat, you're not gonna have to retoss it. Sometimes when you're marinating something and you have to like flip it around a bunch, you don't have to do this with this. It's gonna get coated, all of those spices, all of that garlic and ginger is just gonna get all over those vegetables and that chicken. This is gonna be absolutely beautiful. Now, typically when I'm marinating something, I like to marinate it for maybe 2 hours, something like that. Sometimes I can go a little further, but since we're doing a yogurt marinade and it is more gentle, this can go in the fridge for a day, which is full Myra Berg energy. She thinks every marinade should be like 48 hours. Don't do that. But with yogurt, you actually can. It gets more of that flavor into that meat, but honestly, 2 hours will be more than enough to get that flavor in there as well. So just give that a little bit of a cover with some plastic wrap, or just a dinner plate or a lid. Pop that in the fridge for, again, at least 2 hours or up to a day. Do a little swap, and you will see if there's like a little bit of a... Are we laughing at this? The telltale clang is a little bad, but that's okay. So we have got this beautifully marinated chicken. That chicken's gonna be nice and tender now. It's beautiful, it looks tasty and wonderful. So now what I'm gonna do, as opposed to searing this off, I'm actually just gonna pop it into a pan. I've got a pan over here, because we're gonna roast this in the oven. Going in with a little bit of oil just to give a little bit of nonstick power into that pan. And then all I need to do is pop this chicken with all of those vegetables straight on into this pan. That is going to cook up absolutely beautifully. Try to get the chicken in one nice layer. As it cooks, those tomatoes are gonna burst and give you a little bit of sauce. It's gonna be delish. Wait, can I get it in there? Yep, there we go, we got it. Little bit of tomato. Now with this chicken, pop this into your 425-degree oven for 25 minutes. Then you pop the broiler on for 5 minutes. That's gonna give you a grilled flavor. And in fact, if you want to, this grilled on the barbecue, what a delight. We're going in with half a cup of yogurt to make a delicious sauce to go on top of this chicken. Anytime I am cooking something up, I like to give a fresh version of the ingredients that are going on in the cooked version. The yogurt, as it cooks down, gets a little bit thicker, a little bit richer. So this is just gonna brighten things up and make it taste like, again, the sun exists somewhere in a beautiful, wonderful way. So I'm going into a bowl with about half a cup of that yogurt. And then we've got a lemon. Now, if I saved that lemon from before, you could just use the other half of that. You wanna zest and juice that into the yogurt. Like I talked about with the marinade, yogurt does have lactic acid in it, so it does have that little bit of acidity, but adding a little bit more helps to just kind of pull back on the next ingredient I'm gonna add. So add in that beautiful lemon juice as well. Just gonna brighten things up. This is something that I make anytime I'm roasting vegetables. This exact sauce goes on everything. We call it the pile. And anytime the pile is happening, this sauce is on the base of the pile or on the top of this chicken. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with a clove of garlic. So again, just like before, I'm rasping it in, and that really sharp, fiery, peppery, fresh garlic, by putting it into that lemon juice and even that garlic or that yogurt as is, the acid in the lemon juice and the lactic acid in the yogurt pulls back. So it pickles it almost, as opposed to making it taste really, really punchy. So give that a little bit of a stir. Then I wanna season that up with a little bit of salt. You could add in some of those same spices that we added into that chicken if you're feeling it. But to me, this looks like an absolute dream. Super tasty and wonderful. So now I'm just gonna go grab my chicken. That's been cooking in a 425 oven for 25 minutes, just until it's pretty much cooked through. Then you pop the broiler on for 5 minutes. That's gonna give you the most beautiful golden brown, almost grilled color. It's gonna pop those cherry tomatoes and come on. Sitting down to that, you can see that yogurt marinade is kind of cooked into a beautiful sauce. This smells absolutely incredible. I'm gonna go on with a little bit of this yogurt sauce just to kind of give it extra creaminess to this beautiful dish. Then I did promise you feta, and I'm never a liar when it comes to cheese. So we're gonna add on some beautiful crumbled feta right over top. Serving it in the dish that you cooked it in looks so beautiful. And then on top of there, we've got some herbs. I'm going in with some fresh dill. Just grab it, tear it up, pop it on top, scatter it all over the place. Little bit of some cilantro to mimic that coriander. If you're not a cilantro fan, again, feel free to leave that out. And then you can add in parsley, a little bit of mint, really whatever you're feeling, just to give you those nice, bright flavors to go with that beautiful, creamy, tangy yogurt. Honestly, this dish looks like a dream to me. Pop a side of rice on that, or better yet, a little bit of pita, a little bit of that oniony situation, a little tomato, and you give it a bite, and we're gonna be happy campers. Oh my God, that's so good. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.